Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige reveals that they didn't even consider Sam Raimi to direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness when the director Scott Derrickson left the project. And it's not because they had no interest, it's because they figured he would never agree to do it. In the lead up to the upcoming release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we are learning tons of details. Many of these details aren't even really related to what is going on in the film, but of course behind the scenes. So when Scott Derrickson left the project, it was kind of like doom and gloom for the film. You guys all probably remember. I mean, the film was indefinitely delayed, there was all sorts of problems, and then one thing led to another, and of course a pandemic and everything, which also was, let's be real, very problematic as well. But when they lost Scott Derrickson, they honestly didn't know who they could get to direct. So what exactly were they going to do? I mean, there was plenty of directors out there that they thought they had in mind because they talked to them previously, but again, it was back to square one. So when it came to figuring out what to do next, it was the executive producer, Eric Coral and Richie Palmer, who both came up with the idea to see who was interested. And Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was like, yeah, just go out there, we'll see who's willing to do it. And one of Sam Raimi's agents was like, hey, what about Sam Raimi? And they were all like, well, what about Sam Raimi? We weren't actually going to consider him. We never considered him because we figured he wouldn't do it. They literally thought he would not want to do it. Quickly then, they had Sam Raimi on the line and he was like, oh no, I want to do this. I really want to do this. And the reason why was, one, his love for Doctor Strange, two, the ideas that he had in his head, but three, also the experience of working with Kevin Feige on those early Spider-Man films and seeing what Kevin Feige has built from the Marvel Universe, that he knew that this wouldn't be one of those scenarios where he has a Spider-Man 3 experience again. So he was willing to do it, and when the agent said, no, Sam Raimi wants to do it, from there on out, it was just a matter of, how do we make this possible and do not lose this opportunity? And this is just one of those things where you hear it, and they say that Sam Raimi was so enthusiastic to be able to reconnect and work with Kevin Feige and vice versa, that after that meeting, it was all said and done. And we now know that once that meeting happened, that's when, the trades like Deadline and Variety reported that, hey guys, this is it. He's directing it. And then it was quickly finalized. So one thing leads to another, and a good experience with Kevin Feige on Spider-Man 2 and around that same time leads to this, which just shows you how much people in Hollywood that have worked with Kevin Feige in the past respect what he's doing now, that they're willing to just drop everything and go, I want to work on that because of what he's done. Pretty incredible. So thank you for watching that video, and if you've ever wondered what that little join button is on YouTube, well, that is our membership section, where for a few additional dollars a month, you get exclusive discussions as part of our podcasts each and every week, audio commentaries, let's plays, discussions on canceled comic book films, topics that are a little bit too sensitive for people on YouTube, such as controversial things happening in media, and a lot more. So check out what we offer by clicking that join button.